Shalom. Shalom. Mm-hmm. All right, shalom, shalom. I'd like to begin this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rachak Warash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who have taught us all this truth in the spirit and the power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I'm Shaquat, and I'm back here with another lesson. Lord willing, to edifying to the hopeful elect, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham. To you, sincere Akim Wakwathium, and a sincere shalom to you, brothers that are out here pushing this truth down the highways and the byways and through the YouTube lessons, man. Shalom to you all. All willing this lesson be edifying and exhorting to the elect. All right, so you see by the title, this is a lesson more so tailored to you women out there or sisters. It says, are you an asset or a liability to your husband? In parentheses, a prophet. More so, we're talking about a prophet. All right. You women that are married to prophets. Are you an asset or a liability to your husband, which is a prophet? A lot of you sisters, you're in a lot where it's women wishing they were in your position, where you were the man of the Lord. It's women wishing they were in your position right now. Yet you all take it for granted daily. Y'all taking for granted being married to a man of the Lord is like us taking for granted being reunited with Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai in the spirit. Just like we have to walk on eggshells and we have to make our calling and election sure, you do as well. Right? Which I guess that's what we'll start with. All right. So I'll do this. This is the book of 2 Peter 1 and 10. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure, for if ye do these things, ye shall never fall. Now, though it's speaking to brothers, this is a multifold scripture because it goes for you sisters as well, those who claim to be sisters in the truth, especially being married to a brother. You also have to give diligence to make your calling and election sure. Just because you're married to a man of the Lord does not mean you're going to have salvation. All right? That does not mean you will have salvation just because you're married to a man of the Lord. And a case in point is this right here. Let's go here, Luke. Hold on. Luke chapter 17, though. I think 17. Yeah, 17, verse 32. And it reads, remember Lot's wife. All right. Remember Lot's wife. So it says, whosoever shall seek to lose his life or to save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it. All right. So Lot's wife, she wanted to preserve her life, and ultimately she lost it. She got turned into a pillar of salt. Where if she just were willing to lose those things that were back in Sodom and Gomorrah and not looking back upon it, then she would have preserved her life ultimately, right? So you sisters, you have to be willing to lose your life and stop always being so self-centered. Let me get a drink of water, Salakia. Hold on. was doing just fine until started this lesson. That's how it goes. Anyway, you have to stop being so self-centered and occupy yourself with your husband. Or your husband should be, your front center attention, right, at all times. Okay? Because that's that's what you were created to do, is be a strict helper to your husband. But we're gonna get into that, so we're gonna keep this pulled up here. But just as we have to be occupied in prophecies, we have to be occupied with the meditation thereof of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. You all have to be occupied with us. That's the order rank. That's the order rank. All right, when you go to 1 Corinthians 11:3. Okay, so let's go back over here. So you all have to give diligence as well. How do you give your diligence? By the deeds that you do for your husband, how you treat your husband. Are you loving, kind, and tender and delicate towards your husband? Are you a helper? Are you truly serving your husband? In sincerity. Are you doing it in sincerity? Okay. You have to take that into thought ultimately, because you all do have to give diligence as well. It's not just the men. You have to give diligence as well, just in a different way, right? Your diligence is not going out on highways and hedges teaching or making lessons, that's or studying the breakdowns. That's not your diligence. That's our diligence. All right. Your diligence is what you do to benefit your husband. All right. That's why it goes back to the title of the lesson. Are you an asset or a liability to your husband? Because as the elder brother Nahoya always says, if you're more, when he talks to us, man, if she's being more of a liability, well, that's the question he always asks us when we having issues. We may bring issues to him that we may be having. Yeah, well, is she an asset or a liability? I hear him say that all the time. And and obviously, if she's more of a liability, well, then she need to make her kick rocks. All right, because you can't let nothing take you off your path. This is the most important thing. Let's go back here. Well, actually, leave that. So this is Malachi 4:1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud. And if you're not doing well unto your husband, you're being proud. All right? You're being prideful. Not just simply not shutting the fuck up and always having to try to get the last word, always trying to yap at the mouth, run at the, flip at the lip, be disrespectful, all that slick shit. That's being very prideful. All right? Not being able to just bow to your husband and submit. You're being very prideful. Right? So, and all the proud, yeah, and all that do wickedly, not catering to your husband and being good unto your husband, that's wicked, shall be stubble. All right, ultimately, you're going to be food for the fire. It says, and the day that cometh shall burn them up. All right, and the Lord of hosts, and when you actually go into that word stubble, I actually just want to go into it. Well, it says straw here, is what it said in the BLB, but it says stubble is the cut stalks of grain plants left sticking out of the ground after the grain is harvested. All right, so when you go back over here, straw, stubble, chaff. So when you deal with stubble over here, shall be a stubble. Well, when you throw stubble into a fire, like say you have a fire pit and you throw that stuff into a fire pit, it feeds the fire. It's fuel for the fire. So just like Isaiah the 9th chapter says, you will be fuel for the fire. This is the same thing, right? So you're going to be either missile food, or you're going to be missile food if you do not do right concerning your husband. Here it is. A lot of you women, you sleep in the bed with prophets at night. You wake up in the morning next to a prophet. You have contact with the prophet daily, but yet you're treating the man like shit. You're giving him a hard time. He's asking you to do very simple tasks and you won't do it. So ultimately, I'm reading Malachi 4:1 just to show you if you continue doing this, you're going to be like Lot's wife. You're going to be like Jezebel. We're going to talk about her judgment later. All right, Lord willing. You ultimately going to be a part of this indignation, which is the lake of fire. You're going to burn. Or you're just going to be judged even very harshly. Maybe you won't make it there, right? But it says, in the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. So it's going to burn as an oven. And it's not talking about these modern day ovens. You got to preheat it and shit. No, it's talking about an oven from the ancient world where shit, you can make bread and goddamn make whatever you need within 2 to 5 minutes. That type of oven. I'm talking about straight fervent heat, So I want to go over here to 2 Peter 3. We'll start at 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. All the elements, meaning everything, your body, everything that's an element, which if it's in this 3D realm, it's an element, it's going to melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of the power, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So I'm going to pause there. Knowing that all these troublesome times, this destruction, this calamity, these disasters shall come upon this earth, what manner of person should you be in all holy conversation and godliness? How should you be operating? And this is more so, like I said, geared towards the women. How should you be operating knowing that this destruction is coming? And this destruction is coming, and you're going to need a man of the Lord. 1 Timothy 2:15. And she shall be saved through childbearing. So you're going to need a man of the Lord to get out of here. But yet you have one already in your possession, and you're treating him like he's just just a nigga. He's some regular nigga. The Lord is very long suffering. So it may not seem like judgment is coming upon you, or judgment will ever come upon you for the things that you're doing, the deeds that you're doing, right? But like it says in Ecclesiastes, all right, for judgment is not executed speedily, therefore it is in the heart of the sons of man to do evil, right? So same thing goes for the women, because the Lord ain't bringing that judgment speedily. You think, hey, you just good to carry out your evil manner towards your husband, having an evil eye towards your husband, whether you're doing it on purpose or subconsciously. Regardless, you're doing it. And I'm sure it's been brought to your attention a million times that you're doing it. And ultimately, it comes down to a point of y'all just don't give a fuck. So in that day, the Lord's just not going to give a fuck. It's no different from a man just not giving a fuck about doing the work. Well, it's going to come a point in time where the Lord just won't give a fuck about that nigga. Same thing. Your women are not off the hook. Matter of fact, when the scriptures go into judgment, more women will die than men. So y'all really need to be on y'all shit. More women are going to die than men, mind you. More women are going off than men. There are more wicked women than there are wicked men. There are more women than there are men. So it's like, you can't make this shit up. Right? So how should you be operating knowing these troubles are coming? All right, like I said, it may not seem like the Lord doing something now, but remember the scriptures say a multitude of times that the Lord is long suffering. And he will get you just when you least expect it. Like this verse 10 said, the day of the Lord is going to come as a thief in the night. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. Right, all these precepts going into the day of the Lord being as a thief in the night. So how should you be conducting yourself? Are you being an asset to your husband or a liability? Are you aiding him or are you holding him back? Which one? Because we speak about self-evaluation a lot, but that doesn't just go for brothers, that also goes for you women. You have to be self-evaluating as well. Stop letting it stop. And y'all need to stop letting that excuse of y'all being the weaker vessel. It's like y'all use that shit as an excuse. We the weaker vessel, so no, fuck that. Weaker vessel don't give you no excuse to just be a damn demon. It's like women use that shit as an excuse. No, being a weaker vessel does not mean you could just succumb to demons, bitch. Knowingly, willingly succumb to the demons. Consciously succumb to the demons. Nah, bitch. You gonna end up having to pay for that shit. And that's just the facts, all right? So these judgments are coming. How should you be operating? That's why I just wanted to start with those two. So I want to go to the book of Ephesians. We're going to go back to the basics for you women. Let's take it all the way back to the basics. We're going to jump around this chapter. So this is Ephesians 5 and verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. So just submit. Bow to the rule. Bow to your husband's rule. 1 Corinthians 11 and 3. The head of the woman is the man. Bow to your husband's rule. Are you doing this? Or are you just being rebellious and hard-hearted? Which one? You know, for a lot, I'm sure the latter is true. Okay, for the husband is the head of the wife, even as Hamashiach is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. Okay? Therefore, as the church is subject to Hamashiach, so let the wives be to their husbands in everything, to their own husbands in everything. All right, so we're just taking it back to the basics. Back to the basics with how you women should be conducting yourselves concerning your husband. Because a lot of you need this back to the basic talk before you get your ass destroyed. All right, so this is really mercy to you that the Lord is allowing brothers to make lessons like this for you. Because you need this for your ass get sent back to the lobby. All right. And not the way you like to, not the way you want to, and not the way you ever thought you would get there. All right. I ain't said that in a long time. So let's go back down. Let's go down. Skip to the next point. All right, right here. Verse 33. Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife even as himself, and the wife see that she reverence her husband. Now, when you go into this word reverence, it means to fear. You have to fear your husband. Yeah, loving your husband, you're supposed to love your husband, but you could also fuck over someone that you love. Just because you love someone don't mean you won't fuck them over. See, when you fear someone, you will think twice about crossing them. You know, I'll be playing around with my wife, but I'll be serious at the same time. And I tell her, I say, so do you love me? Yeah. Well, do you fear me? Yeah. That's the one I really care about. The fear. Fuck a love. I want fear. Y'all the ones that like that lovey-dovey. I want fear, motherfucker. I want fear. You know what I'm saying? Because fearing you gonna not cross me. You would think twice at least before you do it. You ain't just gonna do it without thought. That's why I see a lot of these videos on social media. I'll be like, boy, these hoes know who the fuck to try. Goddamn me, they be trying doing some bullshit to their husband in front, bullshit in front of their husband. They be like, boy, these hoes know who to try. Goddamn me, shit. Boy, y'all lucky we in an angel world. That's all I'm gonna say. But reverence, all right, it means to fear, be afraid of reverence. There you go. It says to put to flight by terrifying, to scare away. To put to flight, to flee, to fear, be afraid, to be struck with fear, to be seized with alarm. Of those startled by strange sights or occurrences. Let's see, to fear, be afraid of one. To fear, i.e., hesitate to do something for fear of harm. See, you're going to think twice. Hesitate to do something for the fear of harm. Not to say I'm going to put you to death like that Jake, like that Jake did his BM, because she's about to testify against him. The lesson I did a few days ago, and brother's been doing. But you still should be afraid that I can do something to you, that I'm going to do something to you, because ultimately, man, let's be real. Whatever a man wants to do to a woman and say they're alone, he can do. With that being said, wouldn't you be kind to an individual like that, knowing that they can have their way with you any way they want to? I don't understand it. Not to say brother's gonna just do that, because we're not demons or nothing. But it's like just the possibility that should strike fear into you. Like Yahweh about Shemi al Shai, they're not tyrants or nothing, but they can have their way with us brothers any way they want and like to. They're not gonna just do that because they're not bullies, but it's like they can, and they will be well within their rights with doing that to us. So same way goes for you women and us men. I don't understand what the hell be wrong with y'all. Y'all do a lot of thought instead of thinking. That's the problem. So to reverence, venerate, to threat with deference, or reverential obedience. All right. So there you go. So just to fear, having a respectful fear. Ultimately, that don't mean you trembling to even get into your husband's presence, which that's okay. That ain't even a bad thing, because we going back to times like that too. If I tell a bitch stop breathing for 5 minutes, your ass better stop breathing for 5 minutes. Now obviously I ain't gonna do nothing like that, but I'm just telling you the circumstance. Do what the fuck I tell you to do. The first time, so you should already be doing it. I shouldn't even have to open my mouth. If you women doing your damn job right and you paying attention to how your husband operates, certain shit I shouldn't even have to say at a certain point in time. We've been together so long, and bitch, are you not paying attention? I don't get it. What you here for? I'm just talking, just being honest, right? So let's go to 1 Peter 3. Now it says godly living. So we'll jump to the point. Let's see what we want to jump in at. Well, we'll start at 1. Like I said, back to the basics. BTTB, back to the basics. BTTB. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives. All right, so you need to be in subjection to your own husbands. All right. And when you go down, see, while they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear, right, whose adorning let it not be outward adorning. Let's jump down to the point. Let me see where I want to go. Oh, well, no, let's just read it anyway. Whose adorning let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting of hair, plaiting the hair, with your braids, and of wearing of gold, and or of putting on of apparel, which goes into back to 1 Timothy 2, starting at 9. Right, it says, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, and that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God a great price. Which when you go to Ecclesiastes 26, which we're going to get here soon, it says a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord. That's basically what this is saying, a silent and loving woman. All right, that's a great price. So are you being meek and quiet? Knowing when to speak, knowing when to stop speaking. All right, speaking in a feminine tone, in a feminine manner, instead of just being very attitudinalistic, very aggressive, which is very masculine. All right, and all those things of that sort. How are you being that way or what? Or are you always going back and forth? You always got to get the last word. You're raising your voice. You're being aggressive, and shit like that. Which one? For most of you, it may be the latter. It's time to fix that. All right, work on yourselves. All right, this is not a thing of just the men working on ourselves. You need to work on yourselves as well, or the Lord will spew you out when you need us the most. For after this manner, in the old time, the holy women also, who trusted in God, adorn themselves being in subjection unto their own husbands. All right. So there you go. Be in subjection. All right. Be in subjection. That's how you please the Heavenly Father. That's how you trust in the Lord. Subject yourself to your own husband. All right. That's how you be holy as a woman. Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well, and are not afraid with any amazement. Okay? Now, what does this mean? Not afraid of any amazement. When you put it in the NLT, it actually gets straight to the nitty gritty on that, and it expounds upon it. So, for instance, Sarah obeyed her husband, Abraham, and called him her master. You are her daughters when you do what is right without fear of what your husband might do. So, yeah, you may say, well, you do this, and that makes me do this, or da 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 da. You always try to blame your husband for your actions. But it, like the scripture said right here, doesn't matter what your husband may do, you still have to hold on. Slock. So doesn't matter what your husband may do or whatever, you still have to do what is right. All right. You still have to do what is right. Okay, so anyway, let's go to Titus, the second chapter. All right, so right here, Titus 2 and 3. Similarly, teach the older women. Oh, I'm still in the NLT. Let me change it back. The aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given to much wine, teachers of good things. All right, you have a lot of women today that are strung out. You may be married to a prophet, and your ass strung out on some lick or some type of drugs. Won't get yourself together, won't get your act right. Hey man, get right, or the Lord gonna fuck your ass up. All right. It says not given to much wine. Teachers of good things. And that much wine, it goes into literal and it also goes into figurative or figure of speech, meaning you're giving over to all these different philosophies, the ways of the so-called white man, the Greekish fashion, women are above the man type spirit. All that bullshit. I don't gotta do nothing you tell me, or I ain't gotta listen to you, or you about to piss me off. Man, you got some nerve to tell your husband he about to piss you off. Bitch, all the motherfucking man. We in Esau Kingdom, man. So it says that they may and not false accusers. All right. So because your husband doesn't do what he wants you to do, that don't mean you get to go falsely accuse him. Like that one Jake. That's why that Jake crashed out on his baby mama. She about to go falsely accuse his ass because he ain't want to be with her no more. That's wicked. Jake was wicked too, but that's wicked though. All right. Becoming whole, and like the scripture said in First Peter 3 and 6. No matter what your husband do, you can't be wicked. So the nigga can be wicked, but that don't mean you do bad to him because he's wicked. No, you still have to do your part, and the Lord will deliver you out of that situation in due time, right? Or he'll flip the switch in your husband. Either way, you still have to be good. But nonetheless, you women, you have prophets, and man, y'all just treating prophets like shit. Saying a bunch of bullshit to him, being disrespectful. not listening. It don't make no damn sense. Now it says, y'all have to be, the older women should be teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober. All right, so this is what you women need to be doing: being sober, meaning of a correct mind, of an upright mind, conscious, and conscience, meaning being aware, but not only just being aware when you go into conscience. Conscious means be aware. When you go into conscience, it means to be aware and have a good awareness and knowledge of good and evil, right and wrong. You need to know that. To love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste. Both of those are the same thing. Being discreet and keepers at home. So you need to be discreet and chaste. All right. Why do I see women who claim to be Israelites all on TikTok and Instagram posting videos with their face all in it? The hell is going on? Yeah, women out this bitch prophesying like this shit crazy. It says keepers at home, so you should be keeping at home. All right, now we understand you may have to go work, but outside of work, take your ass home. I don't like. It's simple, and make sure you're taking care of the house. It says good. Oh, and I don't care. And you may say now, some brothers may still help their woman around the house. You know, I wouldn't have no problem helping a little bit. You know, but women always have an excuse like, "Oh, we both work. We both work. So no, I don't want to do all this. I gotta work still. We both work." Well, first and foremost, blame your foremothers because they the ones that that march for this shit. So congratulations. Thank your foremothers. So fuck all that. That wasn't on us. Secondly, you still need to be doing keeping the house. Make sure the house is clean, cooking, all that shit. What's the problem? It's not even a hard task to do. It's something you would still do if we weren't married and you were living on your own. You would still have to do that. I don't understand the problem. The fuck? And then y'all say that, but if somebody breaks into the house or we're out and about in public and someone tries to attack us, you're gonna expect me to defend and put my life on the line, right? So I still have to do the manly duties, but you can't do the what would be the feminine duties in the relationship. I don't understand that shit. It just doesn't make any fucking sense to me. It doesn't make no sense. I mean, it's like this. It's the least your ass can do. It's not even nothing difficult. And I'm sure most brothers ain't dirty or nothing, so it ain't even hard to deal with. Ain't much to clean. But it says to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands. Obedient. Yeah, the bitch had a where that video at? Wonder if I can find this video. Saw it yesterday. Wonder if I sent it to myself or a brother. Damn, I wish I remember this guy's name. Oh, this ain't even my chat. Looking at the whole wrong thing. God damn it. I think I lost it. Ah, fuck. Well, anyway, I don't remember. But this Jake was speaking to a bitch, a little nigga woman, and he was telling her, the men are the leaders of the women. He was saying, I guess he was saying what he looked for in a woman or whatever, and he said obedience. She told me that's like a dog. It's like being a dog. Well, right here it says obedient to their own husbands. So now what? When you go into that word obedient, all it means is to subject yourself to the higher power, dumbass. You do that shit to the law, to the government, don't you? You do that shit when you go to work to your manager. All right, you want children to submit to you and to be obedient to you. If you were in school, you were obedient to your teachers, right? You're obedient to your parents and your grandparents and uncles and aunties and shit. But when it comes to your husband, that's like being a dog. What bitch, you is a dog. Yeah, bitch. That's you are one. You bitch. You bitch you. So yeah. Anywho, so we read that from the top. Verse 5, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of God be not blasphemed. So there you go. All right, now I want to move over to somewhere else. I'm going to go to Genesis 3 and 16. And this all goes back to that Luke 17, right? So remember Lot's wife, whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it. All right. You women have to stop being so self-centered. All right, worried about your own life, being as a lot of women are today, career driven. No, you have to be all about your husband. That's the facts. Be all about your husband. That's your duty. When we read that Ephesians 5, it says be subject to your husband in all things. Let's get it again, just in case you forgot, just in case you missed that part. We'll get that one more time. That Ephesians, the 5th chapter, right? Where was that at? Um, yeah, right here. Therefore, Ephesians 5 and 24. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Hamashiach, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. So in every deed, you're supposed to be subject and considering your husband and what he would think and feel about a certain situation. In everything. Like women have a problem with, oh, we're decentering men. Well, you're lost, bitch. When all hell break loose, don't try to recenter us, ho. Keep us decentered. Because men are supposed to be the center of your life. You were literally created just to support the man. That's it. Now it says in Genesis 3 and 16, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow in thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. So you're supposed to have desire, your lust, all that is supposed to be geared towards your husband. And he is supposed to rule over you, meaning you're going to be in subjection to him. You're going to be the damn it. You're going to be a subordinate to him. I think that's the word I want to use. Let me see if that's the S word I was thinking of. I was looking for. I know I put two B's. It's supposed to be one. One word. Yeah. So I was right. The Wadi Yabashir side. You're supposed to be a subordinate to him, inferior. And your desire is supposed to be completely to your husband. So stop being so goddamn self-centered. And I'm saying that to myself first and foremost, because we need to stop being as brothers self-centered towards our husband. All right, we have to stop being so self-centered as well, you know. So I'm making this for myself as well, and for brothers as well, concerning our husband. But you women, stop being so self-centered and start centering your husband, man. Making your husband the center of your life. All right. Now I want to go to the second chapter also. Genesis 2, we're gonna go to 18, and that's just it. So it says, and the Lord power said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. When you put in NLT, it says, I will give him a helper. A helper. All right. And then right here, Adam gave names to all cattle and to the fowl of the air and to every beast of the field. But for Adam, there was not found an helpmeet for him, meaning a helper. Now, these both helper, it both means server. A servant. All right. Someone that is in servitude to another. All right. So that servant ended up being what? A woman. All right. So point is, your whole point of creation was to serve the man. It was just to serve man. All right. When you really get into the nitty gritty of what the definition of woman is, it means serve. It means servant to man or to serve man. And it also means from man. Okay. When you go into the word man, it also means servant. And by the way, Words have multiple meanings. There are multiple definitions to the word man as well as woman. But one of the most notable for man is a servant. Well, given that you're called woman, your name literally means to serve man. That was what your whole creation was for, to help the man. It says it right here. Oh, I forgot all about this. Yeah, we're gonna have to move that to tomorrow. I don't want to rush this up. Yeah. Anyway, that's your whole duty is to serve the man. All right, as I was saying. Salakia. Okay. So anyway, yeah, that's the point. You're just a helper. Help your husband. When you go to 1 Corinthians 11, I believe starting around verse 8 and 9, it says, for the man was not created for the woman's sake, but the woman was created for the sake of the man. All right, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman is of the man. Of the man. You hear what I'm saying? So, hey man, remember your duty as a woman. That's why we're just simply taking it back to the basics. You know, this ain't a cuss out video, you know, or nothing like that. Yeah, you know, it could turn into that real quickly. You know how I get. But it's not really meant to be that. I'm just trying to inform you, women out there who may be married to a prophet. You better lock the fuck in, man. Lock in. Or the Lord going, yeah. The Lord going, yeah. That's what I will say. The Lord going, yeah. And that yeah, you take that any way you want to. But he going, yeah. So we're going to go to Sirach 36 and we're going to start at verse 22. Put it up here just so you can see it nice and clearly. The beauty of a woman cheereth the countenance. All right, meaning one's demeanor. All right, one's appearance, one's oh my god, I forgot the goddamn word. Salakia, you know, brain fog is real, you know, given all these chemicals we're taking. But anyway, it says, fuck, man, I really want, damn it. Anyway, you know what countenance is. I had a specific word I want to use, but it just fled my mind. It says, and a man loveth nothing better. Right, now when you go to the next verse, verse 23, it says, if there be kindness, meekness, and comfort in her tongue, then is not her husband like other men. So what does this show you? That there is power in your tongue and power in how you act towards your husband. All right? Because what you say and do can uplift your husband, and it could also tear your husband down and just make his life even more of a living hell. And we're already in hell. I mean, shit, our arch enemy is ruling over us, for crying out loud. We're in hell, man. You know, and why are you just adding on to the hell? I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense. Right? We're already in hell. Why add on to it? Why help the enemy? And the enemy doesn't have your best interest at heart, so it's really stupid that you're helping them. Now it says, if there be kindness, meekness, and comfort in her tongue. So if you're being feminine, that's all just being feminine, man. Just be feminine, just be gentle, delicate, like you're supposed to be. You're a woman, right? Then it's not her husband like other men, because you're uplifting him. Are you giving him a boost, a breath of fresh air, and a breath of fresh air and a boost of energy? All right, an adrenaline rush through that. You know, y'all don't understand the type of power you have in just being feminine. You know, you really can build up a man through that. That's just the truth. You know, men, a lot of things men do is for women, because given y'all are our glory. Y'all are our glory. So a lot of things that we do as men in general, I'm just talking about men in general, is for women. It's for women. All right. So it says Ecclesiastes 36 and 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, because you belong to your husband. You are your husband's property. Property. You belong to him. You are his possession. He owns you. Your husband owns you. Act like it. A help like unto himself and a pillar of rest. So you women are supposed to be a help to your husband, and you're supposed to be a pillar of rest. You're supposed to bring your husband help as well as rest. All right, which that rest will be through help. All right, and that's the facts, man. Supposed to bring your husband help and rest. Okay, let's read that one more time. Sirach 36:24. He that giveth a wife, he that getteth a wife, Salakia, beginneth a possession, a help like unto himself, and a pillar of rest. A pillar of rest. Okay? So, like I said, we're just going back to the basics. This is just back to the basics, going into simple things. And I could be missing a lot of scriptures, but hey, it's all right. Now, description of a worthy woman. So, we're in Proverbs 31. Okay? Now, I'm going to pull it up on my phone as well so I can read side by side in another translation as well, just in case I want to, jump over a little bit. So this is Proverbs chapter 31, starting at 10, description of a worthy woman. This is what you should be striving to be. Now we know, now maybe earlier in the truth, in our early years in the truth, we were expecting a Sarah, but at this point, when brothers are a little more seasoned in the truth, we know you're not going to be Sarah. Okay, you're not going to be Sarah or Rebecca, or nothing like that. We understand that you're not going to be a Judith. Okay, we understand that. We're perfectly okay with that, but still effort, because all the Lord asks out of us men are effort. He just asks effort for our brothers, from us brothers. He just asks for sincere effort. So, in the likewise, because we are made in the image of the Lord, so we're going to conduct ourselves as the Lord conduct Himself. We just asking you women for sincere effort. That's it. And we know when you ain't giving it. You think we stupid? Brother's so spiritual, and you think we don't know when you ain't being sincere and giving sincere effort? We know when you really just don't give a fuck. We not retarded. Are you crazy? Brothers, here it is, brother, super spiritual. Spiritual is all heaven, but you think we can't discern that you ain't giving sincere effort? Like we just stupid. And then y'all say, well, no, motherfucker, I ain't make the statement out of vain babbling, dumbass. If I'm making a statement, nigga, I know I'm stating a fact. All right. So Proverbs 31:10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. All right, it says first one, cable wife. Yeah, and it says in the NLT, who can find a virtuous and capable wife? She is more precious than rubies. Her husband can trust her, and she will greatly enrich his life. All right, now if you see that I'm not reading what's on the page here, just know I'm in the NLT. And if I'm reading what's on the page, obviously I'm in the KJV, right? So it says her husband can trust her, and she will greatly enrich his life. Now, even then, I know what it says. Your husband can trust her. Don't do that. Micah 7:5. Don't do that. All right, but anyway, it says she brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. So are you bringing your husband good or harm? That goes back to the title. Are you an asset? Are you bringing him good? Or are you a liability, which is bringing him harm? Which one? This perfectly describes the title. She finds wool and flax and busily spins it. It says, and when you put it in the KJV, it says, she seeketh wool and flax and worketh willingly with her hands. She's willfully working for her husband, willfully doing for her man. A lot of you women, when you do for your husband, especially you women that have prophets, y'all do it like it's a task or a chore. Oh, like you do it insincerely. You do it with an attitude. But here it says a woman that willingly works willingly with her hands, right? It says she is like a merchant ship bringing her food from afar. She gets up before dawn to prepare breakfast for her household and plan the day's work for her servant girls. All right, meaning mapping everything out to where the house is run correctly. Now we know you sisters ain't got no servant girls right now. You don't have no maidens at this point in time, of course. So we're not in the kingdom, but yeah, you will in the kingdom. It says she goes to inspect a field and buys it. So it shows you women, just from this verse 16 as well as the 13th verse, you women were also putting in work. Maybe you weren't doing the work, you weren't doing work like how we were doing work as men and how you all have to go into the workforce today, but you were still working for the household and bringing some type of money in. Yeah, you were. Yeah, Proverbs 31, man. Beautiful book, huh? Y'all were working and bringing in money to the house. You weren't out there with out and about, all in the front in public and shit, your face all out, in the workforce and shit. But you were still doing things that brought money to the house. All right, so you were still financially adding to the house as well. A lot of you women just think you're supposed to be. A lot of you women are just panhandlers, which means a beggar. All y'all just be beggars and y'all just be dead weight. Y'all just want to be a damn dependent. That shit dead. Fuck all that. All right. It says she goes to inspect the field and buys it. With her earnings, she plants a vineyard. So you even had earnings coming in. You would do things that would benefit the household, going and buying a field. All right. And planting vineyards. You're adding to the household. You're growing herbs, fruits, veggies, all these different things, man. Getting certain essential materials that will aid the household. She is energetic. What? She is energetic and strong, a hard worker. But a lot of you women, you just complain about working now. Your husband asks you to do the simplest thing. Can you wash these dishes? Can you fold my clothes? I know I asked my wife, can you fold my clothes? Bitch, you got a problem. What the fuck you have a problem for? Just fold the goddamn clothes. You fold my clothes, y'all got an issue. Wash the dishes, you got an issue. Can you cook? You got an issue. Can you clean? You got an issue. Can you suck my dick? You got an issue. You know what I'm saying? I'm just speaking generally for what men deal with. You got an issue with every damn thing. But right here it says she is energetic and strong. So a godly woman gonna be energetic. All right, she's gonna be energetic and she's gonna be strong. Not how they say it today, a strong, independent black woman. Not that, but strong as in she's literally basking in her femininity. And a hard worker. 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 Did it say a lazy bitch? No, it said a hard worker. One that always complains, no, a hard worker. You women don't understand. Y'all were literally created to work. That's it. We're kings. Kings ain't meant to just be working. All right. But y'all, on the other hand, y'all were created to work. Y'all were created to serve. We weren't. We were created to serve the Lord and work spiritually, but y'all were created to work physically. Further proof of that is let me get this. Let me get this. Hold on, where that motherfucker at? Yeah, that me. What is it? What is it? Song. Let me see. Let me find this goddamn. Let me find this. Let me find this. Hold on. Book of Song. Psalm 68 and 12. Kings of armies did flee space, and she that tarried at home divided the spoil. So you women, that's what y'all did. Y'all will wake up in the morning, like it said. We was just reading up here earlier in Proverbs. Let me get that again. Proverbs, where was that at? Proverbs 31 and 15. She gets up before dawn to prepare breakfast for her household and plan the work days of the day's work for her servant girls. So reading Psalm 68 and 12, kings of armies did flee a pace. So when we went to war or anything, went out to just work or whatever, and she that tarried at home divided the spoil. In the NLT, it says, enemy kings and their armies flee, while the women of Israel divide the plunder. All right, so you women, you actually partook. You actually are supposed to, like it said in verse 15, get up early, do all that, and you're supposed to go catch the animals. You're supposed to get the animals, and not only get the animals, you're supposed to cut the animals' guts open and gut them and get all those insides out and clean the animals, cut it up and cook it. You're supposed to do all that. Y'all were created to work. We're kings. Kings don't work. That's for peasants. And that's for servants. Not to say you're peasants, but you're a servant. Right? This is just the facts. All right? This is the facts. All right? Hell, look at the animal kingdom. For one main instance, who's the king of the jungle? The lion. Do the male lions typically hunt? Not unless they have to. Typically, the female lions, the lionesses, they hunt. And they bring the food home. And they divide the spoil. You see what I'm saying? So even in nature, man, even in nature, you cannot make this shit up. Now you have some exceptions to the rule, but mainly that's how it goes. Cannot make this shit up. So going back to the point, where are we at? We were at 18 now. She makes sure her dealings are profitable. See, because she's gonna aid and be an asset to the house. She's gonna make sure she's being beneficial towards the house. Right? Are you an asset or a liability? She makes sure her dealings are profitable. Her lamp burns late into the night. She put in that work. Her hands are busy spinning thread, her fingers twisting fiber. And none of you women know how to goddamn sew and knit or nothing. Y'all don't know how to do none of that shit. It's sad. Y'all don't know how to braid no hair. This shit is sad. It says she extends a helping hand to the poor and opens her arms to the needy. She has no fear of winter for her household, for everyone has warm clothes. She makes her own bedspread, so her sheets, she makes them. She dresses in fine linen and purple gowns. But none of you damn women, none of you women wear dresses and skirts today. A lot of y'all don't. Y'all just got pants on and shit. Shorts. All that bullshit. It's crazy. It says her husband is well known at the city gates where he sits with the other civic leaders. She makes belted linen garments and sashes to sell to the merchants. See, bringing money into the household. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. When she speaks, her words are wise, and she gives instructions with kindness, right? So when she speaks, her words are wise, meaning they're few. A woman who's speaking with wise words, meaning she's not speaking, she's not a woman of many words. Just like us men, we aren't men of many words. You women should also take to like and be women of very few words. That's what you would be doing in wise talk. All right. And when you are giving instruction, because we may be doing something and you could help us and give us a little guidance in it. Like doing something that's you would be good at. Don't be like, no, you doing it wrong. Let me do it. Here, let me. No, you're giving kind instruction, being gentle. It'd be a lot. We'd be a lot more willing to hear you out when you're being gentle, not being a damn bitch. It says she carefully watches everything in her household and suffers nothing from laziness. So she ain't lazy. The woman ain't lazy, man. And she keeping at home. That first part of the verse, she keeping at home. That's that Titus 2. Her children stand and bless her. Her husband praises her. There are many virtues. Her husband, note to self, this verse 28, her husband praises her. He don't, when you're dealing with a godly woman, you ain't going, oh, shit, this bitch. Man, I'm sick of this. No, you praising her. But boy, when we get to Sirach 25, yeah, a lot of you women have your husband. Oh shit, here we go again. There are many virtuous and capable women in the world, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive, and beauty does not last. But a woman who fears Yahweh will be greatly praised. Reward her for all she has done. Let her deeds publicly declare her praise. All right. And that's what we say. That's what I was saying in my lesson yesterday with that Muslim woman. Talking about my man not doing this, I'm leaving. Well, if you just be a woman and you do right by your man, a lot of the things that you women want from a man in a relationship, he's gonna give to you willfully. If you do your part willfully, with no complaints, gonna just give you the world if he has the world to give. So y'all be shooting your own selves in the foot and wondering why y'all don't get what y'all really want out of a man. So that's that concerning Proverbs 31. Let me tag this over here too. I didn't put this in my notes of scriptures, but we're gonna get this anyway. First Timothy chapter 4. All right, here we go. First Timothy 5:14. I will therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. For some are already turned aside after Satan, which some of you are already turned aside after Satan. And some of you that are too far gone, past the point of you're at the point of no return. And some of you can get return. So it would be behooving, if you come across this lesson, lock in or get run over. Okay. So I want to go over here to the book of Sirach. Let's go back to Sirach. We're at 25 and we're going to start at verse 1. Right. So it says, in three things I was beautified and stood up beautiful, both before God and men, the unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and a wife that agree together. So that's one thing that's beautiful. That's the thing that's beautiful. A man and a wife that agree together. Yet a lot of you women, especially some of you women who married to brothers, y'all doing everything that goes against what he has set up, his standard that he wants his household run. You want to implement your standard. You want to infuse your spirit. No, it ain't about your spirit. The man infuses his spirit. That's what a father does. A father infuses his spirit. That's why our Heavenly Father, and that's why we have the Heavenly Father Yahweh infusing his spirit in us. And that's why Yahweh Shai is also known as the everlasting Father. When you go to the book of Isaiah, I believe it's either chapter 9 or chapter 11. It's one of them two chapters, but the scriptures say everlasting Father, and it's talking about Yahweh Shai. Let's actually get that. Let's see if it's Isaiah 9. It may be Isaiah 11. No, that's right here, Isaiah 9. So we just get to the point. Isaiah 9 and 6. For unto us a child is born. It's just talking about Yahweh Shai. Unto us, people say Yahweh Shai not in the Old Testament. Y'all slow bellies. He's all throughout it. Unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders. Who's the government? The 144. The 144,000 mighty men. We're going to be upon his shoulders. We're the pillars of the earth, and Yahweh Shai is our pillar. There's a pillar for the pillar. And there's a pillar for the pillars. Because Yahweh is Yahweh Shai's pillar. Yahweh Shai is our pillar, and we are the pillars of the earth. All right. It says, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Peace of Prince, of the increase. And a lot of people try to use that Everlasting Father to try to say, we'll come back to that. Of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no end. Showing you that was King Solomon. Because King Solomon was also told that his kingdom will have no end. Or I think it was told to David about King Solomon. Regardless, it was said concerning Solomon's kingdom. Upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth even forever. The zeal of Yahweh of hosts will perform this. All right. So he was called the everlasting father. A lot of Christians try to use this scripture to try to say, see, Jesus is God. No, Yahweh Shai is a God, but he's not the God. He's not the Almighty. Now, is he known in the scriptures as Almighty? Yes. The scriptures say he was given all power from the Father. That's Matthew 28 and 18. But just that, he was given all power. But the Almighty, there's only one Almighty. Because you could be Almighty, but I mean, there's only one the Almighty. How about that? When you put a Thee in front of that motherfucker, there's only one of those, and his name is Yahweh. All right, so they try to use this to say, see, no, that doesn't work. All right, so it says the everlasting Father. Why does it say that? Because Yahweh Shai is a Father also. Because he also is infusing his spirit within us. Today, how is he doing that? Through the Holy Spirit. He said he will leave us a comforter. The comforter is the Holy Spirit, which is basically is him in the spirit. So he's infusing himself within us. So you women, you don't infuse yourself into the household. You don't infuse your spirit into the household. A father infuses his spirit into the household. That's how that goes. All right. A man does that. Even when you're dealing with a man, the man's DNA is infused inside of you. None of your DNA goes inside of that man. The man's DNA goes in you and sticks forever, as long as he walks the earth. So, yeah, you don't infuse no spirit. So y'all be ruining it. Y'all be rooting out foundations. That's the spirit that leads me to the next precept. Y'all be rooting out foundations. That's what y'all do. That leads me right to the next precept. That's the spirit, man. Call Leah Bashimel Shai. Sirach 3 and 9. For the blessing of the Father establisheth the houses of children. How? Because the Father is infusing his spirit. This is beautiful, man. All praise Yahweh Shemel Shai. But the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations. Because then y'all try to infuse y'all spirit, but you can't do that because you're not a father. You're not a man. All right? You're not a husband. A husband goes back into infusing as well. A husband and father are very similar in meaning, because a husband means to plant. To plant what? Seed. So you're in. A woman can't do that, man. That's why it's a curse of you women, because y'all root out foundations when trying to do that, man. Trying to assert yourself like you're somebody. No, the man asserts himself. Assertiveness is a masculine trait, Salakia. A man slippeth in the tongue, but not in his heart. All right. Assertiveness is a masculine trait, not a feminine trait. All right. And when you go over here to God damn it. I was thinking of a precept. Let me go back over here and look. Fuck. I forgot the precept, but I'm gonna go to this next precept. Yeah, I forgot what it was. It left my mind. Brain fog attacks again. This is Proverbs 14 and 1. Every wise woman buildeth. I need to get some herbs for brain fog. This shit be pissing me off. Every wise woman buildeth her house. Yeah, you appreciate your home. All right, you be an asset to your husband because the house is your husband, man. Your husband is the house. All right, so you're building your husband up ultimately. That's the house. No husband, the house. There is no house. Okay, whether you have kids there or not. No husband, there's no house. The husband is the house. He's the home. Okay, he is. Okay, every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. And that's a curse. Your foolish women pluck their house down with their own hands, by their own hands. That's what a foolish woman would do. It's the curse of the woman to root out foundations. So are you being an asset or are you being a liability? That's what this whole lesson getting into, man. Are you being an asset or a liability? So let's go back to Sirach. We're gonna go back to the 25th chapter. And we almost done. All right. So this is Sirach 25. I'm gonna go down here. Oh, that's right. I wanted to get this in the GNT. So I'm gonna pull it up on my phone. Just gonna read it from here. But you're gonna see it on here as a KJV. I don't want to search it up. So this is a Sirach 25 starting at 16 in the GNT. I would rather live in the same house with a lion or a dragon than with a bad wife. That's how detrimental you being a bad wife could be to a man. To where he'd rather choose to dwell with a lion and a dragon. He'd rather choose, as according to the book of Proverbs, to dwell in the corner of a rooftop and then to keep house with a wicked woman, than to be in a big house with a wicked woman. When a wife is in a bad mood, her expression changes until she looks like an angry bear. And a lot of you women, I was telling my wife about this shit yesterday. Said I was talking about this little Hispanic girl and Hispanic women. I said typically Hispanic women, little Hispanic girls, they always very cheery. You know what I'm saying? They always happy. They always smiling. It's an amazing. I said, so why are you always so mad? Always got an attitude. You're always mad. She couldn't answer. She couldn't tell me why. Y'all need to change that. That's not cool. That's weird, man. That shit ain't cool at all. All right? It's not cute. And it's damn sure not feminine. All right? Let's read that again. When a wife is in a bad mood, always in a goddamn bad mood for nothing, her expression changes until she looks like an angry bear. You a woman, supposed to be real feminine, but look like an angry bear. That's masculine. Men supposed to look like that. Men are supposed to look like angry bears. An angry bear looks very austere. Like Yahweh Shai was called austere. It was told that he looks very austere in the book of Luke. We're supposed to be that, men, because that's masculine to look like an angry bear. So if you angry in a bad mood and your expression changed to you look like an angry bear, that's a problem. Y'all need to change that. Watch yourself before you wreck yourself. All right, like the elder brother did, the GMS In Rome's of Fire, In Rome's Lines of Fire. All right, go to his channel. All right, the elder brother. He was doing a video going into how, them angels pulled up on him when he was having a situation with his wife. You women need to learn how to keep your foot. Go watch the video so you can understand what I'm talking about. But you women going to have to learn how to keep your foot. Just like us men, we have to keep our foot. You got to keep your foot as well. Or else you're going to get hot coals burned on your shit. You're going to have boils on your shit. This shit is not a game. Keep your foot, man. For the Lord, take that motherfucker. Yeah, like Dion. Her husband has to go and eat with the neighbors where he can't hold back his bitter sighs. So are you a woman that your husband is able to exalt and praise, like it said in Proverbs 31, or you got your husband? Oh, this bitch. Gosh, man. What can you even believe what this bitch did now? You know what I'm saying? Compared with the troubles caused by a woman, any other trouble looks small. Yeah, when you dealing with troubles from a woman, all other troubles really be small. Because women just demons. It says, may such women suffer the fate of sinners. Damn, that's cold in the GNT, boy. That cold in the GNT. I gotta bring that 1990 GNT all the time. Oh my god. That cold. I ain't never at this one in the GNT. That's cold. I'm gonna read that again. Women, listen up. Sirach or Ecclesiastes 25 and 19. Good news translation. Compared with the troubles caused by a woman, any other trouble looks small. May such women suffer the fate of sinners. That's all we needed, boy. Boy, that's the scripture we needed right there. We should have opened the lesson with that scripture. My goodness. One more time. Ecclesiastes 25 and 19. Compared with the troubles caused by a woman, any other trouble looks small. May such women suffer the fate of sinners. So, what's going to happen to sinners? They're going to die. They're going to die. So, if you're a woman and you're causing just hell to your husband and you got him sighing, you're like an angry bear, always mad, causing troubles, you're going to suffer the fate of sinners, meaning you're going to get put down brutally. Brutally, man. So, you women that got prophets for husbands and you ain't doing right by them, you're going to suffer the fate of sinners. Thus saith the Lord. So it's time to put up or shut up, get right or get mowed down. That's the facts. It says a quiet man living with a nagging wife is like an old man climbing up a sandy hill. Damn. And to you men, this is what you need to listen up to. Like that Jake who crashed out and put his baby mama to death. Verse 21, never lose your head over a woman's beauty. It goes like that. It says that in Sirach 9. All right, it says that in Proverbs 21 and 3. Etc. It says, and don't try to win a woman because she is wealthy. When a man is supported by his wife, there is sure to be anger, arrogance, and humiliation. And that's true. It says a bad wife, and that goes into something deeper when it says a man support, meaning the man ain't doing shit, but the woman doing everything. That's different, Like say a man was a stay-at-home dad and a woman out there going and getting it, some shit like that. Anyway, a bad wife will make her husband gloomy and depressed. Is that what you're doing? Are you bringing gloominess and depression upon your husband? If so, that means you're a bad wife. You got sisters that may say, "Nah, I know you're gonna tell the brother this." Not my wife specifically, but I heard of examples. I'm not gonna say no names. And you probably tell the brothers I'm doing this, that, and the third. You got to tell the brothers about this. Well, bitch, shut the fuck up, then, bitch. No bitch ass. This ain't my situation personally, but I ain't gonna say no names. But shit, brother, watch the video. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know I'm talking about you. It says, when a man is supported, Salakia, back in 23, a bad wife will make her husband gloomy and depressed and break his heart. Show me a timid man who can never make up his mind, and I will show you a wife who doesn't make her husband happy. Show me a timid man, timid, docile man who can never make his mind up. Show me that man, and I will show you a wife that doesn't make her husband happy. Dang, that's cold, man. Dang, that's cold. That's cold. And when you read this in the KJV, it says, a wicked woman abateth the courage, maketh a heavy countenance in the wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands and feeble knees. That's beautiful, man. Man, that's beautiful. All right. Yeah, that's cold. That's cold, man. Man, that's cold. It says it says of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. So there you go. Don't be a bad wife. All right. Don't be a bad wife. Okay. So let's go to Sirach 26 now. We're about to end this thing off. I know I said that already, but you know. So back to the Proverbs 31 type speech. Sirach 26 and 1. Blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. So you being a virtuous wife, doing good to your husband, you will even just by that double his days, man. Double the days of his life. A virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. Just by you being good unto your husband, this is the type of benefits you can bring to your husband. And if your husband is benefiting, if your husband is doing well, obviously you're gonna do well. Like, come on now. You wouldn't be tearing your man down, not understanding you're gonna reap the consequences of doing that. If your husband doing bad, you're gonna do bad. If your husband's doing well, you're gonna do well. A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord. All right. Now you may say, well, if I'm not a good wife and I'm giving to you, how you a man of the Lord? Because I've heard a brother situation like that too, of a woman saying that to him. Well, you also have Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter, concerning what King Solomon did in his research. You know, King Solomon was researching, boy. He was searching stuff out. And a wicked woman can be given to a wicked man. I mean, it can be given to a man of the Lord, a man that fears the Lord. But guess what? The man that fears the Lord will be delivered from her, meaning you will be removed from his life. Yeah. So don't try to pull that one. You're gonna be out of his life sooner or later. All right. But a wicked man, he's gonna be caught up in that snare that you're gonna be upon him. All right. So it says, whether a man is be rich or poor, if he have a good heart towards the Lord. All right, that's good stuff. But let's go down to another point. Yeah, we start here at verse 6. But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge that of the tongue which communicateth with all. All right, so women always flipping at the lip, being slick at the lip. You know, things that so women being jealous over other women. Because you women, y'all better snap out of that whole jealous over another woman shit. Because you claim to believe in the truth, but then one thing you won't accept is polygyny. It doesn't make any sense. Isaiah 4:1 is going to happen whether you want it to or not. So, are you going to really let that break your salvation? That's going to make or break your salvation, because that really is going to make or break a lot of you women's salvation. Because y'all ain't ready. Y'all don't be ready for Y'all not ready for that. You gonna really let that jeopardize your salvation? Stupid, man. It's really stupid. Give me a moment. All right, forgive me. So let's get back to the point. An evil wife is a yoke. shaken to and fro. He that hath hold of her is as though he held a scorpion. Let me see what that says in the good news. Right? Let's see what that says. Good news, missing some scriptures, ain't it? Says, a bad wife is like a yoke that doesn't fit. Trying to control her is like holding a scorpion. Psh, it's crazy, man. All right, so it says, you can tell, or Salakia, a drunken woman is an infuriating sight. She can't conceal her shameless behavior. Mm-mm-mm. It says, you can tell an unfaithful wife by the bold and flirting look in her eyes. Right here it says, the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. It says, if your daughters is determined to have her own way, keep a close watch on her. If you don't, she'll take advantage any chance she gets. If she is too self-willed, be on no. Let's see, hold on. Let's skip down. Verse 13, a gracious wife is her husband's delight. Her abilities make him a stronger man. A wife who doesn't talk too much is a gift from the Lord. So you see, I say a silent and loving woman when you go down here. See, but all it means is a wife that don't talk too much, that knows when to speak and when to not speak. Let's read that again. Verse 14, a wife who doesn't talk too much is a gift from the Lord. Such restraint is admirable beyond words. See, this is how you should be conducting yourself. That's why when it said in Proverbs 31, a woman, when that godly woman spoke, it was with wisdom, meaning she ain't speaking too damn much. It's like I said that, man. The scriptures, man, you can't make the Lord up, man. These scriptures are beautiful. It says the beauty of a good wife in her well kept, or Salakia, it says a modest wife has endless charm. It is a quality too precious. It is a quality too precious to measure. Man, that's beautiful. All right. It says a shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued. All right. The beauty of a good wife in her well kept home is like the noonday sun shining in the lower sky. Her beautiful face and attractive figure are as lovely as the light from the sacred lampstand in the temple. So, are you taking care of your body, sisters? That's a thing too. Not looking like goddamn goy slop, as the small hats say. You looking like goy slop. Goy. This small hat's funny, boy. Looking like goy slop. Goyim and shit. Are you looking good? You got your body tight, you know, your titties perky. I'm gonna be like, I gotta say it. Your ass firm, stomach tight. Or is you out here looking sloppy and shit, eating what the fuck ever, not taking care of yourself, not working out at all, never fasting? That shit is unattractive. And brothers, take care of yourself too. They go for you to take care of yourself. God damn it. I'm looking like goy slop. Oh man. Out here looking like goy slop. It says, her beautiful face and attractive figure are as lovely as the light from the sacred lampstand. Damn. Call it saying y'all got that hourglass body, lampstand body in the temple. It says, and like its gold shaft set on its silver base are her shapely legs and strong ankles. Sad observation. And it goes something else. Okay. So there's no verses from 19 to 27 in the GNT anymore. It used to be. I actually have the one that they really got rid of, this 25. We're gonna get to that. It says, let's see. So verse 22, listen up, sisters. A harlot shall be accounted as spittle, but a married woman is, and that's why people think we're supposed to respect a whore. I don't gotta respect you, bitch. You spittle. The scripture said it, the Lord said it. But a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. Dang, that's heavy. So y'all play a heavy role in a man's life. But yet y'all sit here acting like just goy slop. But seriously, it says a wicked woman is given as a portion to the wicked to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. A dishonest woman contemneth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. See? So an honest woman gonna reverence her husband. She gonna have that respectful fear for her husband. The last time we saw that words, we went to Ephesians 5. But a dishonest woman, she gonna bring shame. Are you a liability or are you an asset? Are you an asset or a liability? A woman that honoreth her husband, well, Salaki, I skipped the verse. I don't want to skip this one. A shameful woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefast shall will fear the Lord. And when you put that, when you go into GNT, which they deleted it, but I have a screenshot of it, so I'm gonna get it. I could quote it. Actually, I remember what it was, but I'm sure I could find it real quickly. So hold on, I'm sure I could find it very quickly. Yes, I did, because I actually have the picture of it before they deleted it. Sirach 26 and 25, GNT. A self willed woman is a bitch, but a woman, a sense of decency, honors the Lord. One more time. A self willed woman is a bitch, but a woman with a sense of decency honors the Lord. There you go. A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all. See that? If you honor your husband, you're going to be judged wise of all. But she that dishonoreth him in her pride, because that's what it typically is you women being prideful instead of humbling yourself. The one that dishonoreth her husband in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. So are you being an asset or a liability? Remember, your life is on the line. You're betting with your life with how you conduct yourself towards your husband, especially if he's a prophet. It says, a loud crying woman and a scold shall be sought out to drive away the enemies. And, no, that's it actually. Yeah, that's it on this. So let me see if I got anything else left. It's lucky for making this lesson so long, but hey, it's the spirit of the Lord, man. I can't control that. I cannot control that. So that goes back to what I was talking about earlier, though. We're your only way out. We are your only way out of this place. So you women need to start acting like it. Okay? It's like us men shitting on the Lord. When he's the only way we getting out of here. That's stupid. So you need to start acting like we the only way that you're getting out of here because we are. Isaiah 4 and 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread, wear our own apparel, only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. That reproach is shame. So to save y'all, we your only way out of here, man. It's time that y'all motherfuckers start acting like it. Okay? It's time that you begin to act like it. All right? We are your only way out. Like I quoted. Let's get it. First Timothy. Just gonna get it. First Timothy 2 and 15. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. All right. So you're going to be saved through childbearing, meaning through a man of the Lord. You need us. We don't need you. Isaiah 32 and 2. You need us. We don't need you. Isaiah 33 and 6. You need us. We don't need you. Isaiah 13 and 12. You need us. We do not need you. We do not need you. All right. You need us. I'm gonna show you further how you need us. You need us bad. This is Ezekiel 9. Oh my goodness. This is Ezekiel 9 and 5. And to the others he said in mine hearing, well, we'll start at 4 just to show you once again, you need us, we don't need you. This is a precept going towards the precept for this is Revelation 7. All right. It says, starting from the top, it says, and the Lord said unto him, Ezekiel 9 and 4, and Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city and through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of all the men, or of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst of. Remember, 2 Ezra 15, the just complain continually, right? Lot was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked and all these different various precepts, right? So that mark is a thawa. It's a spiritual mark, a mark of exemption. In the Hebrew, it's thawa, okay? It means exempt from judgment. But it says, and to the others, so these are for the men of the Lord, all right? Not the women, the men. You're covered if you under the hedge of a man of the Lord. So this shows you once again, we don't need you, you need us. Don't call us, we'll call you. Inside joke. It says, and to the others, he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eye spare, neither have ye pity. Upon what? Slay utterly old and young, both maids, which are women, and little children, and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary, then they begin at the ancient men, which were before the house. So you need a man who has the mark of exemption, which is a man of the Lord, because it's not looking too hot for women. It said women twice. Crazy. It said kill old adults, young adults. Then it had to specify women, and then it specified y'all ass again. Crazy work. Y'all got it coming. So it would be behooving that you get yourself in order. This is why we open with First Peter, or 2 Peter 3. All right. What manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? How should you be operating knowing that destruction like this is coming to you women? How should you be conducting yourself? Let's go to Micah 7 and 10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it. Let's read it again. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it. Are you being an enemy to your husband that is a prophet, or what? Because if you are, well, this is what you're going to go through. And you're going to suffer the what is say in the GNT? I'm gonna get that again. In the GNT, at verse 19, Sirach 25 and 19, it says, compared with the troubles caused by a woman, any of the trouble looks small. May such woman suffer the fate of sinners. So if you're a sister being wicked to your husband, giving him all hell, you're gonna suffer this. This is what the fate of a sinner, of a sinful woman. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the street. Mire is dirt and mud. So you're going to be trodden over. So you're going to get the judgment that Jezebel received. This is the judgment that Jezebel got. You don't believe me? Well, let's show you the judgment. I'll show you the judgment of Jezebel. Jezebitch. Where was that at? Is it in 2 Kings 2? No, I think this is going into yeah, no, this ain't it. Maybe it's 2 Kings 1. So this must be just in that damn 1 Kings then. So it's later than this then. Where the hell that bitch die at? I ain't went into this in a while, so bear with me. I know it's around this part. Fuck it. Let me look this up. What chapter does Jezebel die? Oh, it is in 2 Kings. I was just okay. It's in 2 Kings 9. Forgive me. Like I said, it's been a while. For some reason, I thought it happened while Elijah was still on earth. So this happened after Elijah got taken up. Okay. Got my timelines mixed up. It happens. So we getting there, Salakia. Hey, Shalom, Shemaya, Yahweh Shemiel Shaba, Shemakakodash, Barakatah. Shalom, bro. The water. The water, bro. Slovakia, hold on. Yep, so as I was saying, so let's go down here. Starts around verse 30. So yeah, Jezebel is slain. So we're gonna start at 30. So 2 Kings 9 and 30. It says, and when Jehu was come to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it, and she painted her face and tired her head and looked out at a window. And as Jehu entered in at the gate, she said, has Zimri peace who slew his master? And matter of fact, I'm going to I might go to this in a GNT just to see what it say. Hold on. Yeah. I'm gonna read this in the GNT too. We'll see. Hold on. That's crazy. So it says, and he lifted up his face to the window and said, who is on my side? Who? And there looked out to him 2 or 3 eunuchs. Jezebel is slain. This wicked ass bitch. You should read the Kings just to see what this wicked hoe was doing. Wicked ass fucking bitch. Her and Ahab. Fuck both they ass. Bitch ass niggas. Ahab a bitch. Jezebel a bitch. Fuck them both. I'm standing on that to this day. To this day. They'll be all right in the kingdom though. But as of now, it's still fuck y'all. It says verse 33. And he said, throw her in. And Ahab really a bitch because he was just doing whatever Jezebel wanted him to. Puss ass nigga. Puss ass nigga. Anyway, what the hell? Oh shit, the battery about to run out on me. Where's shit at? Oh Lord, let me plug this up. I wouldn't want this to die in the last few seconds. The lesson. Hold on. Oh shit. I didn't know it's been that long. Just stand. There's a lesson standing. Now let me pull it back. I ain't gonna reach this. Hold on. Oh yeah, we good. We good. So right here, so you read. So it says, and he said, throw her down. So they threw her down. And some of her blood was sprinkled on the wall. So when it said throw her down, what do you think it's talking about? He threw her out the window, nigga. This nigga threw her out the window. They were stories up, and he threw her out the window. So yeah, this bitch got thrown out the window from a couple stories up, and her blood got sprinkled on the wall and on the horses, and he trod her underfoot. So then he had horses trample her. So threw her out the window, trample her with horses, and then that goes back to that Micah 7 and 10 directly, trampled underfoot. And it says, and when he was come in, he did eat and drink, and said, go see now this cursed woman and bury her, for she is a king's daughter. And they went to bury her, but they found no more of her than the skull and the feet and the palms of her hand. Why? Because the dogs ate her ass. Let's read it. Wherefore they came again and told him, and he said, this is the word of the Lord, which he spake by his servant Elijah the Tishbite, saying, in the portion of Jezreel shall dogs eat the flesh of Jezebel. And that was prophesied by Elijah, all right, in the first Kings. All right, towards the end of the first Kings, he prophesied that. Okay? So that prophecy came to pass. It says, "And the carcass of Jezebel shall be as dung, trodden down as mire in the streets, shall be as dung upon the face of the field in the portion of Jezreel, so that they shall not say, This is Jezebel." So this bitch was unrecognizable. This bitch got threw out the window, got trampled by horses. I'm not gonna read it in GNT, it's not necessary. Got trampled by horses, then got ate up by dogs, and all they could find was a skull, her feet, and the palms of her hand. Through. That's the judgment, man. So when it says in Micah 7:10, she shall be trodden down as the mire in the street, you wicked women, you women who are being wicked in general, and then you women who have prophets, men of the Lord, and being wicked unto him, you're going to receive the judgment that Jezebel received. Good luck with that. So it will be behooving that you can start to be an asset to your husband rather than a liability. All right, so this has been, are you an asset or a liability to your husband, a prophet? I do hope and pray that this is edifying to the elect. I would like to close giving all praise, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Machak Wadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who have taught us all this truth in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And until next time, Abba Ball, Kwame Sharala, Gadol Abadium, Lababal, Hagadol, Yahweh Mahar, Wahabathum. And until next time, I would like to say unto you all, Shalom. The water Yahweh Bahashem.